Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village episode 5 review. So for this episode, we pick up directly after Tokito managed to save Kotetsu. The guys are running back to the fight and they run into Mr. Kanamori. This dude, he's also under attack by one of those upper 5 demons. And to be quite honest with you, I thought Mr. Kanamori was one of those guys that actually got mashed into that vase by upper 5. Now, the interesting thing is that Tokito, you know, as good as he might look like when it comes to fighting, he's actually using a chipped sword. So he's looking for his sword. That's the main reason he was actually in Swordsmith Village. So I think Mr. Kanamori might know the person who's in charge of forging Tokito's sword. So just imagine this dude's performance once he gets like a proper sword. Him and Tanjiro. When Tanjiro gets his hands on the 300-year-old sword, bro, shit is gonna go down. So Mr. Kanamori tells them that he actually knows the person who was in charge of, you know, forging that sword, and they run to his quarters. And just as they get there, bro, there's a big surprise actually waiting for them. Now, as they're actually running to get the sword, I couldn't just help but to think about Tanjiro and Nezuko, to think that, dude, Tokito, those guys are actually dying there, man. They could use your help. But logically speaking, it makes sense that Tokito go there fully prepared, right? So Nezuko and Tanjiro, all they have to do is to make sure that they actually survive. So guess who's waiting for them? It's actually Gyoko, upper 5. And I will say this dude seems to be very strategic, man. He seems to have all the intel to know where all the key figures are. So if you actually look at him, he looks like a crazy demon. But I will be very honest, bro, he's quite strategic. And the fact that out of all the demons, he's the one that actually located Swordsmith Village speaks volumes about his intelligence. Now we cut back to the village, you know, where those creatures from upper 5 are going rampaging around the village. Fortunately, bro, Lady Kanjori makes it in, the love Hashira, and she starts cutting through those creatures. And the interesting thing about her is the sword that she uses, it sort of looks like a whip. So I just keep asking myself, what kind of material is it actually made from? The speed, the power, she's cutting through those things like it was nothing. Unfortunately, she knew where to go. She headed straight to the chief, and he was also under, you know, attack by one of those creatures. Pulls up, smooth, makes quick work of the demon. And the funny thing is when the chief now and one of the subordinates start simping, bro. I mean, these guys, bro. Come on, gents. We're in the middle of an attack by demons, and you know, the simping can't stop. Now, back to Tanjiro and Nezuko. Fortunately, Nezuko has very good healing capabilities. So from the last episode, they were blown away and they passed out onto the ground floor. So Tanjiro is woken up by the foul smell of the demons. Unfortunately, Nezuko's carrying him and she's running away, bro. And I mean, they're running away for their lives. One of the upper 4 versions with the electricity tries to go for the attack, electrocutes Nezuko, but she bounces back and they keep on running, right? Tanjiro, and they swap places. Now Tanjiro is carrying Nezuko, and that guy with the wind fan, he's the one now that goes on the attack. And I mean, that dude is a problem. His reach is actually crazy, right? And this dude ends up, you know what, obliterating the entire building to say that, you know what, this building is a distraction. Let's see now what they're gonna do if they're out in the open. And then the funny thing is that Nezuko now, she's trapped under the rubble and she's holding tight onto Tanjiro's sword, and Tanjiro can't understand what the hell Nezuko is. And then after that, we cut back to Gyoko. I mean, Gyoko, he's mad, okay? Gyoko is one of those demons, those artsy types, okay, whose art is unappreciated according to them. Nobody understands it, but he does something that was so twisted, okay? So it looks like he's been collecting bodies all around the village, and he summons this lumped up creature of all the people that he killed. And the messed up thing that when he twists a sword, those people start screaming in agony. And I mean, Kotetsu even starts crying, right? And when he's going on in this monologue, he's talking about how this is his art, and he starts explaining it to Kotetsu as well as Kanamori and Kotetsu. And I mean, you know what, Tokito, bro, wasn't having it. My boy pulls out the sword and immediately goes on the attack. Now, the one thing that I will say, which is something that was frustrating Tokito, is that this dude is very fast. Okay, I mean, he seems to have some form of instant teleportation because he was moving from one place to another so quickly. And as Tokito cuts down the vases, he gets so mad, bro. He's like, how dare you cut my vase? And I keep thinking to myself, yo, this dude is crazy as hell. But I will say, Ep05 is very versatile, okay? Not only can he summon those creatures, not only can he collect the bodies of the people he kills and actually, you know, resummon them back, but he also has the ability to summon like these floating fishes that have like poisonous stings, right? And on top of that, we see him use blood demon art, water prison, which he uses to actually encapsulate Tokito, bro. And when you touch that water prison, it doesn't get cut, it actually expands, and you can actually suffocate from that kind of attack. So quite interesting. You wouldn't get somebody like him and figure out easily what kind of powers he has. On top of all that teleportation he seems to be doing. So quite interesting. Back to Tanjiro and Nezuko, bro. So Nezuko is still adamant holding on to Tanjiro's sword, right? And Tanjiro keeps on saying, Nezuko, let go, right? Only to find out that Nezuko is actually trying to cut herself so that her blood can coat Tanjiro's sword. So Nezuko has caught on, and she knows that her blood can actually burn these guys. And I will say this, bro, for Nezuko's age, she's very intelligent to be this observant, you know, about her own powers. So she does manage to cut herself, bro, and her blood coats Tanjiro's sword. And man, that sword catches fire. Then Tanjiro now starts to catch on, and he starts on having those inherited memories of that Hashira, right? The guy who supposedly almost killed Muzan, right? That he had the sun breathing technique. And then, man, bro, that sword catches fire and Tanjiro doesn't play, okay? Which was simply the highlight of the episode. Tanjiro doesn't hesitate, bro. Goes straight for the kill, confronts all those three versions of Ep05, and he goes for a smooth head decapitation. Sana Halo Dragon head dance. The irony, bro, cuts all three of their heads in what, 3 strokes? And the animation on top of that, bro, was so crisp. I'm not gonna lie, that was smooth as hell. And the irony, right? The irony of the name, head dance. Oh man, that was clean. That was clean, I'm not gonna lie. And then after he does that, one thing that I did appreciate is that he understood that it's not done, right? Because he does say that he needs to cut all 4 of their heads off at the same time, right? And he kept on asking himself, where's the other version? So the other version is the guy that had that trident in Kenya, right? So he looks for it and he finds Genya. Now, the positions have swapped. Now Genya has that demon with the trident on the other end. He has the trident in its guard, bro. And he looks at Genya, and Genya looks like he just had himself like a feast. He's got spit, he's drooling, he's got the head of that demon in his hand. And of course, they didn't synchronize the timing, so I doubt that Ep04 is actually dead. But yeah, clean episode. Ep4 and Ep5 don't look that menacing. I don't know. Or if it's because they're going a bit easy. I just feel like they haven't shown their true abilities to Tanjiro and them. Because so far, you know, our protagonists are actually putting up a good fight. But that's it for the review, guys. If you enjoyed the review, definitely leave a like. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you enjoyed about this episode. What could I have missed, okay? And if you enjoy the content, again, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll check you guys on the next episode.